I'll record this and I'm going to pull my notes up. So first and foremost, running the business like a business. The only thing I want to say about network marketing is that oftentimes people have a negative association with direct sales, network marketing, MLM. Like they hear it and they're like, that's gross. Like people like that spam their Facebook page and they shove product in my face and I'm not interested. Like we know that's how people look at the business. However, with like especially younger generations, network marketing is becoming very popular. It's becoming very attractive because people want time freedom. They want space. They want to call their own shots. They want to be able to run their business how they want to do it. And so it's becoming very popular. We know, I think it was by 2024, they say 1 out of every 4 households is going to be doing some sort of network marketing that generates income for their family. So not just signed up, not just for the discount. That's a big deal. Those are a lot of families who are impacted by this. So when I originally signed up, I didn't tell anyone in my family. I was very hesitant to share it. I was one of those people who probably judged it. However, what I found was in the first like 2 months where I wasn't sharing, like I didn't tell my sisters right away, which was so dumb because they're like the most supportive people in the world. But I was really quiet about it. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like I'm just gonna try this. I just want to see how it goes. I don't really know what I'm going to do. Like, I know I need to make income because I left my job. I'll probably bartend some nights, but I guess I'm just seeing what happens. But like, don't feel like you have to buy anything. Like, don't feel that way. That's literally what I said to everybody who asked me about it. Like, that was my go-to. Like, what a shitty opener, guys. That's horrible. And then I was like, wait a minute. If this is something that I think can be significant, and I saw like one of my best friends in the whole world having all of this success, I started to think, wait a minute, this really is powerful. And the only way that other people are going to respect me doing this is if I do. And what I have found in the last 2 years is that the level of respect I have for my business is exactly what other people have for it, and probably not even quite as much. So if you go out into the world and you're telling people, yeah, it's okay, I don't really know, they're gonna they'll maybe pity purchase from you, but they're not gonna respect it on a business level. Like you guys, we are like very talented people who are showing up week after week, who are making a significant income, and we've all had success in this. Like we got to own that. That's really powerful stuff. So my number one thing when I talk about running this business like a business, I am like spreadsheet numbers. I dig deep. But the number one thing is respect it. If you want people to respect your business, you have to you have to exude that confidence and respect it yourself, and they still probably won't even quite meet where you're at. So always be leveling up. And in turn, what's going to happen is if we have a force of people in the network marketing industry who have that perception of their business and who have that confidence and excitement and respect, we're going to start to change the entire perception of this industry. And I think that's really cool. So number one, respect it. Number two, if you want to run your business like a business, is set boundaries. Okay. I think oftentimes when we talk about running your business like a business is do everything, talk to everybody, be on every call, show up to every single thing possible, reach out to every person every single day. That is going to burn you out. Like that is a total churn and burn mentality. And over time, you're going to get burnt out. Your team is going to get burnt out, and it's not going to be fun anymore. Not all work is fun, right? Some people sign up for this and they're like, oh, I just want to have a ton of fun. In order to make money, typically it's not all like 24/7 this fun thing, right? Hopefully most of the time it is. But I would highly encourage you to set boundaries. For me, I know that that looks like my boundaries are Monday nights. I know I've got to be either on the call or show up to run a call. Like that's a non-negotiable for me. That's a boundary. I sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be early, or I'm going to quick hop off after because I want to help put James to bed, or I want to do this. I now have a very distinct boundary on Monday nights from 7:30 usually until about 9:30 of being on the call, prepping for it, getting organized, and then afterwards following up and doing some things in my back office, but having a designated time where I know I'm uninterrupted. Because otherwise what happens is if my door is half open, like James is kind of coming in, or Aaron's like, hey, have you seen this? Or there's just distractions, and that's fine, but you're not going to be able to be present like you need to be. What else does set boundaries mean? So work time. Do you have designated work time? I know there's a lot of people in here who aren't like me. They're working full time, more than full time, and they're doing Zaya. You guys, that's a lot. Like, that's a lot, and kudos to you, but make sure that you're setting boundaries. If you know most Tuesday nights, I'm free from 9 to 11, it's late, but that's my time. Focus, because what you can get done in those 2 hours versus the rest of the week just feeling like you should be working or thinking about it. I always compare it to working out. I'll go weeks, you guys. And some of you are like, that's horrible. I know it is. But I will go weeks sometimes thinking, oh, I should go to the gym, or I really need to get, like, I really should sign up for that. The time that I spend thinking about it is, first of all, painful. And second of all, if I would just actually do it instead of thinking about it, I would be so much more successful in that area of my life. It's the same with business. Like, if you're not present in Zaya, don't be thinking about it. Like, let your mind free, be present where you're supposed to be. But when you have those times that you're committed, be present in Zaya and like feel like you're here to do something and get something done and be efficient. So setting boundaries for me is a really big one. Declining requests. If you've got someone on your team, or if you have a customer who's constantly coming at you and you feel like it's just exhausting, you can say no. You can say, hey, you know what? I so sorry those leggings don't fit. I'm actually going to be working tomorrow from 10 to 11. I'll make sure I get you all the exchange information at that time. I mean, make sure you follow up and you actually do it then, but you don't always have to be like on. And that's very difficult, because if you're a people pleaser, you feel like you need to be. Your phone dings and you're like, oh, somebody on my team has a question, or I need to help them do this. There's tons of resources. You can direct them somewhere where they need to go, or you can say, hey, you know what? I can't do it at this moment. Is it okay if we connect later? 99% of the time, people are going to respect you for saying that. Yep, no problem. So number one, respect your business. Number two, set boundaries. Like, saying no is okay to yourself, to other people. It's totally okay. Number three, don't rely on friends and family for sales. This one's interesting because in MLMs, I hear a lot of times, go to the people who will buy dirt from you. Now, I think that there's some power in that, right? Like, when you're starting your business, who would totally support you? But I don't love the saying, because I think sometimes what happens is our people think, okay, who's going to buy dirt from me? And they try to go for low-hanging fruit, and it's always people they know. Or if someone says, I can't host a party, I can't get someone to host a party. I'm like, okay, well, what's your approach been? And they're like, well, everybody I know already knows of Zaya, right? Like, that's okay, but that's why so much of this business, actually the industry, is called network marketing. You really think about what that means. It's creating networks through marketing to continue your business growth, okay? Like, you can't just rely on family and friends. Of course you can't. That's crazy. You can rely on friends and family in the beginning to say, hey, do you want to host? And then if they do, hey, who else do you know who I might not be introduced to who would love this stuff? If you have anybody and they end up hosting, I'd love to give you a $15 gift card. Okay. So you can't always rely on your friends and family. And I think relying on friends and family is an immediate parallel, basically, to the scarcity mindset, right? Like, your mindset is going to become very scarce if you only can think of your warm market. Guys, that's so overwhelming, and it's scary, and you feel like you're burnt out. So don't rely on friends and family for sales. Get out of that space as quickly as you can. I've got a really good customer who's in, like, I don't even know what state she's in, Pennsylvania maybe. The business I have gotten from her and her referrals, and the parties I've had from her and the parties I've had from them, because I'm strategic in my parties, is incredible. Okay. So if you guys want more information on that, just let me know, because I'm sure somebody in here could do a phenomenal training on it. Don't rely on friends and family for sales. Number four, I've got 6 of these. Number four, make yourself stand out. Katie and Shauna have been saying this perfectly. Katie, I think, what is it? You say you are what? How do you say it? You are the secret sauce to your business, or something. How does it go? I feel like you said it on your training.
Yeah, I mean, I hear people say all the time, like, you're the secret sauce to your business, but, yeah. I don't know, is that what I say?
I thi
Sorry, I was trying to write down number 4 and write
Oh,
down how you need to run a call about being strategic in your parties. I was like, "Oh, we gotta write that down." So I'm a little bit
those
bogged
are my
down with
favorite.
that.
Parties are my lifeline, man. Like,
I
I
know, that's why I was like, "We need to do a call on being strategic in your parties." That's, like,
know.
huge.
If you're strategic in one party, that one party can be more valuable than 4, "Oh, we'll see who buys and send them a thank you." It's crazy.
Yeah,
Whole
we're adding it to the list, it's right
Yeah,
here. But anyways,
list.
sorry,
That's
yes.
a cool call. Somebody else.
Yes, your secret sauce. Sorry.
Okay, so you're the secret sauce to your business. You've got to make yourself stand out, you guys. People can buy Zaya. They could go to the corporate site and be like, send me a rep. And maybe it was Sean, whoever was last week. It must have been Shauna who talked about it too. But you've got to be unique. Unique in do you have a logo? Like does your VIP page, do you have a unique background on it? I know that sounds corny, but like if you just got like a flat Zaya picture, anybody can have that. Do you have something that's unique? Is your picture, like your background picture on that VIP page, is there something that correlates to that on the thank you card that they get? Do they feel some sort of like continuity between your brand? Like, do they feel that from you? Um, I think that's very important. You've got to make yourself stand out somehow. It doesn't matter what it is. Maybe it's really good customer service. Maybe it's sending the cutest thank you gift in the world. Maybe it's every time that your customer spends $500, you send them this beautiful thank you with a $50 gift card, whatever it is. But you have to find something that makes you stand out. And you don't need to Google it because you're not going to get the right answer then. You've got to figure out, what do I love about my business? What am I passionate about? Maybe it's finding something that really makes women feel beautiful. That's not my thing. I'm weird about that. I'd rather have them just pick it up, but maybe you're really good about that. Maybe you strive to be someone's personal shopper. Do that. Like, do that for them. But find out what you love about your business and dig in and go 10 feet deep into it and really understand what makes you unique about that, and then own it and continue to grow on it. So make yourself stand out. Number 5, study your success. So the the one other thing about this business that I find really interesting is that oftentimes people will enroll and they'll be like, I hope this works. We'll see what happens. I hope this works. First of all, or I'll see if I'm good at it. I know some people disagree with me, but I am the biggest believer that in this industry, it's an equalizer. There is Somebody doesn't walk into this business with a skill set that's 100 times better than somebody else. All of this is showing up a little bit and being consistent. That's it. Like, it's showing up every day, it's being consistent, and it's making a decision to be successful. If you enroll and you're like, I'm deciding that I'm going to be successful. That was my background. A lot of people are like, well, you were in business. That's why this is working for you. Yeah, I was in business, but guys, like, this was a whole different animal for me. The reason that I had success in this was because my back was against the wall, and our family had zero income the day that I quit. Like, we had zero income for like 2.5 months, and I had no other choice besides bartending at night. So, not that it's like a sob story. I would have done something else, but I had to make this work. I wanted to make it work. But with that being said, I do think you can study your success. So if you think, okay, in last November, I had a really good month. Some people are like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't really know what's happening. It's just not working. I'll see what happens this month. No way, man. Like, go back to November and study November. Like, what did you do differently? Like, what was your PV? Okay, my PV was 2,400. Why was it? Oh, I closed 6 parties. Okay, I must have been having more parties. Go into your messenger and look at the conversations you were having in November. Like, go back and study what made you successful. I was reaching out to people on my team every couple days in November, sending them awesome trackers that was showing their goals. And oh yeah, I had somebody pushing for junior rep in November, and I had a call with her every week on Mondays for like 20 minutes. Go back and study what made you successful. A lot of this is patterns, and a lot of this is stuff that you can sort of a little bit figure out. right? Like we know that although this is some people get lucky, but if you own this like a business, guys, we can look back and say, I know that based on history, the months where I close 4 parties, I'm always hitting my sales goal. Or I go back and I look at my months and I'm like, well, when we're like, how do I get business partners? Because you guys, I didn't recruit anybody this month or last month yet. None. Like that's not common. Like it's not usual for me. So I look back and I'm like, okay, well, my December sales were low and my November sales were low. I know, like, immediately to me, that's a red flag that I didn't have parties. I didn't have enough parties in November and December. So I had little exposure. I had little follow up. I had fewer opportunities for conversations about the business. When I look back at the months that I had 3 or 4 new business partners, usually the month and 2 prior to that, I had really high sales. Like, so for me, I know that when I have high sales and I have a lot of activity, typically a month or 2 later, that's going to generate a lot more conversations about the business and turn more people from prospects into business partners, which is kind of cool. I do think you can study your success. If you're like, man, I don't know what that means, we can get on a call and we can go through numbers and we can do some analysis and we can try to pinpoint what that looks like. But study it. Don't just wish and hope and pray about this business. It's not going to work. You've got to study your success and what's working and what's not. Number 6, create goals and know how to read growth. Creating goals is simple. I don't really have to talk about that too much, but we know, right, that if we have a goal, I don't know, you read anywhere from 50% to 97% more likely to happen, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter what the percentage is. We know it's high. Like we know it's high. Creating goals month by month. I've got goals, monthly goals, and then I've got yearly goals. I've got goals in my head about like income that I don't write down anywhere. I don't tell anybody. Like that's just where I keep that one. But I've got goals literally everywhere. The reason I like them is not because, oh, like it's fun to put a goal out there and see if you hit it. Like there's a lot of fluffy talk around goals. I like setting goals because for me, it becomes a benchmark. So if I set a goal for June to have X amount of group volume and X amount of people on my team, June comes along, and if I'm not there, I can go back and say, okay, what part of my business do I think I could change that would have helped hit that goal? Or if I surpass it, I can look back and be like, wow, like what did we do in the last 6 months, or what did I do that really helped me hit that? So I like goals, not because it's, again, like this fun, fluffy teddy bear feeling. I like goals because for me, it becomes a benchmark and I can study it. And it allows me to understand where my business is succeeding and where maybe I need to do some work. And then how to read growth. So I'm a nerd and I can show you guys this. I probably won't pull it up now because I think all my real numbers are everywhere, but I know I want my business to grow like 23% month over month. And I know what that looks like. And once you figure out how to figure out that equation and that number, it's really not that difficult. But what it's going to do is allow you to feel some ownership. If you don't know those things, I get it. It can be scary. It can be overwhelming. You know, well, I don't know how much we grew. How do you figure that out? Or how do I know how much I want to grow? But if you have conversations about those numbers and study them and learn about them, you guys, it's so much fun. And I'm willing to do that literally with anybody on this team if you want to learn about that stuff, because for me, it's such a huge passion. I've got a spreadsheet that I can plug in where I'm at, where each level of my team is at. And I know at any point in the month, if the month ended today, I could tell you exactly what my paycheck is going to be. Not because I'm obsessed with money, but because I like to know that. I like to go into the month feeling like I have control. My husband and I had an interesting conversation the other day. He's kind of our finance person, and I'm really not. But when it comes to this business, like I didn't know what I was doing with my taxes. I didn't know what I could write off. I didn't know now that we've got this Zaya income, like where should I be putting what? Like I don't have a retirement anymore because I'm not working. And for a year and a half, that stuff overwhelmed me so much that I just didn't touch it. And it would frustrate me. And I was like, I don't know, I just hope things are working. And so finally I was like, shit, I got to get control of this because I don't like not having that control in my life. So I set up a meeting with an accountant and I set up a meeting with our financial planner. And I feel so much better now. And the thing is, it's not like a big, scary second language to me anymore. I feel like I have a little bit of a grip on it. It's the same thing with your business. So if you feel like, well, I don't know how to tell how much we grew or how much I want to grow or what I should be growing in the industry or what this should look like, we can talk about that. Talk to your upline about it. Talk to me about it. We can have a call about it. I don't care. But what I guess the point is, as soon as you can embrace and understand those types of things, the better you're going to feel, because the more in control you're going to feel. And the more in control you feel, the more you're going to have power over success or not having success. Does that make sense? I know I'm getting a little bit long-winded there, but I can tell you it absolutely changed my business when I took the reins and didn't just hope anymore. Like when I started knowing what my business looks like. So I've got a spreadsheet for my income and it's super easy. I literally type in the volume of like my level 1 and 2 or however many levels you have. I literally just type it in and it all pops up. I've got a spreadsheet where each month I pop in all of my key numbers. So number of business partners, my PV, my group volume, and then I do group volume divided by how many people are on my team. I know that roughly in the month of November, I think it was, roughly on a team, the average person is selling between $650 and $800 a month. And I ran that number across Ellie's team, across my team, across a lot of teams, and it got pretty consistent. And in that moment, I was like, man, like this is, unless you're Dana, your numbers were like through the roof volume per person. I think they call it an outlier. But I have a pretty good understanding of, all right, I know based on this many amount of people and what we did last month, I can kind of feel what it's going to look like this month. So anyways, I'll run through those again. This is way longer than I intended. Number 1, respect your business. Number 2, set boundaries. Number 3, don't rely on friends and family for sales. 4, make yourself stand out. 5, study your success. Number 6, create goals and know how to regrowth. Again, I know that's all really high level. If you guys want to have a call, a one-on-one call, or a call with you and a leader, whoever, and run through back offices and share screens, happy to do that. I would love to do that. So, do you guys have any questions? We're good? Hey, buddy. We skipped nap today, so mine was in bed at 7:30, which was okay, awesome. If you guys need anything, let me know. If you want to do a one-on-one call, please reach out, shoot me a message. But I would love to do that because this stuff is very exciting for me. So that's all I have for you guys. Have a good night. I think the Bachelor finale is on tonight. I don't know. Maybe.
Not finale, Fantasy Suites.
Oh, okay. I started to follow this one a little bit, but not